Most people think a DUI arrest is just one court case. In Arizona, it's actually two separate legal battles happening at the same time. If you've recently been arrested for DUI, understanding what happens next can make a big difference in how your case unfolds. I'm Joel Chorny, a criminal defense attorney in Tucson, Arizona. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what actually happens after a DUI arrest in Arizona. Let's start with the stop and the arrest. Most DUI cases begin with a traffic stop. An officer might pull someone over for something relatively minor, speeding, drifting within a lane, a broken light, something like that. If the officer begins to suspect impairment, they may start a DUI investigation. That investigation often includes questions about alcohol or drug use and may involve field sobriety tests, which I call roadside agility maneuvers. Those are the roadside tests where an officer might ask someone to walk in a straight line, stand on one leg, or follow a pen light with their eyes. Sometimes a breath test is given at the scene. In other cases, the officer may request a blood test. If the officer believes that there's probable cause to think that the driver is impaired, the person will be arrested and taken into custody. After the arrest comes the booking process. The person is usually taken to a police station, jail, or holding facility. During booking, law enforcement collects personal information, takes fingerprints and photographs, and documents the charges. Depending on the situation, the person may be released the same day or may need to wait to see a judge. Eventually, a court date will be set, and that begins the formal criminal case. Now, here's the part that many people do not realize. A DUI arrest in Arizona usually triggers two separate legal processes. The first is the criminal case, which happens in court. The second is an administrative process involving the Arizona Department of Transportation. That process deals with your driver's license and your privilege to drive. Even before the criminal case is resolved, your license can be suspended. And there are strict deadlines to challenge that suspension. Many people miss those deadlines simply because they do not know that the process exists. As the case moves forward, the prosecution then will begin providing evidence. This can include police reports, body camera footage, the officer's observations, and the results of breath or blood testing. A DUI defense attorney reviews that evidence carefully to determine whether the state can actually prove impairment beyond a reasonable doubt. DUI cases are often much more technical than people expect. Sometimes the legality of the traffic stop itself becomes an issue. Sometimes there are problems with how tests were conducted or how evidence was handled. Every case is different, which is why these cases require a careful review of the evidence. Now let's talk about possible outcomes. Most DUI cases do not go straight to trial. Many cases are resolved through negotiations between the defense and the prosecution. In some situations, charges may be reduced. In other cases, a defense attorney may recommend taking the case to trial if there are serious weaknesses in the state's evidence. If someone is ultimately convicted of a DUI in Arizona, the law requires certain penalties. Those can include fines, license consequences, alcohol education programs, and always some form of incarceration. More often than not, it's jail, but it can also be prison under certain circumstances. Exactly what happens depends on the facts of the case and the person's prior history. The important thing to understand is that a DUI arrest is not the end of the story. There's a process that follows, and understanding that process can make a significant difference in how a case is handled. If you have questions about DUI law in Arizona, feel free to leave them in the comments. I may address them in a future video. And if you found this video helpful, consider sharing it with someone who might need it. I'm Joel Chorny. Remember, you have rights. They matter. Protect them. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video.